The way that you were exposed to wealth, whether you heard about it, seen it, heard stories, had it show up in movies, literature, music, you were exposed to different attitudes about money. You have to think to yourself, what were the stories and the beliefs of people in your life where they had about money, whether it was themselves or anybody else? Because you will adopt that story for yourself, okay? The other one is poverty, and it's important to understand this because it's the opposite side of the wealth. You have to understand, what is your story about poverty? Understand this. The story about wealth and your story about poverty, they're psychological set points that holds your income pretty much fixed in one place. So you develop a financial set point that what you do is you say, I want to make more money, and you're right here. This demonstrates how much money you need every month, okay? And you try to get it up. You want to get your income up, 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 and at some point it comes back down again. And you don't understand why it's coming down, or you don't understand why you can't break through. Because psychologically, what's controlling how much you earn is this story. Now, it usually takes me several hours to go all the way through this, but I'm going to cut to the chase so you see what the end result of this is. What is it in these two stories that is so controlling that it controls how much money you make? It's being seen. It's being seen. The equivalent of the amount of money that you make is how you feel safe in the world. If you start to approach your psychological set point around money, you have to understand something. It's not just you that's earning the money. You cannot become wealthy without other people knowing it. You cannot become wealthy without other people knowing it. And it's their judgment that you don't want to be exposed to. Because the judgment exposes your shame and your guilt. And you don't want to be rejected, right? So why is it that we accept less than what we're worth? Because we don't want to be rejected by someone or something. And as we start to move into a lot more money, you can't do it without being seen. So what we do is we go backwards, we sabotage ourselves. It literally kicks in a core wound pattern and you reverse it. You reverse it. Now, there's a lot to this, right? But I'm telling you this because here's the answer, right? Here's the answer. What you're working with is how you see yourself as far as how you see your own self-worth, okay? You literally have something going on inside of yourself that is against you making that much money. Now, it's not there to make your life miserable. Your subconscious mind is ingenious design that keeps you alive, actually, right? But it was not designed to make you wealthy or keep you happy or have great relationships or anything. But you have to understand that it works to keep you in the same place because it understands how to deal with things that you've experienced before. It does not know the future that you have not experienced. It doesn't have the patterns to deal with it. So it keeps you at the same place. So if you want to change that, you have to understand very basic things. Number one, you're literally changing your psychology, and you're changing it to become better, not to hurt you or not to hurt anybody else. There's nothing wrong with this. And you deserve to change it. Because your higher self is like screaming to get out to the place where you're living to be who you are. So, how do we change this? Understand that the way you have learned to earn money is all about survival. You have to change the way that you think about that, right? You have to change your belief system about why you earn money and what money is about. So I'm going to tell you something that will challenge your belief. Everybody on the planet has the same amount of money. Everybody on the planet has the same amount of money. Now, that is challenging for a lot of people to hear that, right? But I'm going to explain it to you. First of all, you have to understand that anybody can become wealthy, and if they don't become wealthy, it's only because they're ignorant to the idea that they can for themselves. They're ignorant to how it can actually happen, and sometimes they live in oppressed countries where like some dictator won't allow it to happen. But that doesn't mean that it's not there for them. It is the third most important thing that we need in our life. Air is the first. Water is the second. Food and shelter is the third, and we've advanced so much in our society that we've created money as a way for us to expand that idea. So if you really understand nature and the evolution of everything, whether you're coming from a scientific standpoint or a spiritual standpoint, the only way that life can exist and keep growing and becoming bigger and better is that everything that life needs to do, it has to be here and has to be able to, the life form has to be able to get at it easily. In other words, life cannot exist without the fundamentals that we need every single day to keep us moving forward. So why would it be that whatever it is that created us would make money so damn difficult for people that 25 million people, whatever it is, a year or whatever, a month, would die of starvation? Why is it that so many people would struggle their whole damn life around money? And the only reason is because from the moment that we created the idea of money, people realized that it's very easy to control other human beings if you raise them in a way where they believe something different about what they need. The three biggest lies that we learn about in our life in order to be controlled is God, sex, and money. Why is that? Why do we hear so many false things about those three things? Number one, if you hear false teaching about God, it limits your possibility in life. Because now what your potential is based on what you can see. It's not based on anything above results. Sex is the expression of who we are. It's the authenticity, and it is the creative energy in us. If we make sex wrong, or we have shame and guilt around sex, then we have extraordinary problems, not only with our bodies, but how we see ourselves in an expressive way. And if you're going to be magnificent and literally become very successful, there can't be any blocks around you expressing yourself. You have to be able to tap into that energy to create the things that you need to create. So it's literally attached. Not to mention the personal problems that a person will suffer with because of that. And money completely keeps people locked into living one way and not being able to change at all because they don't understand that they're working for survival. They're not building their value in their awareness. Your value is in you. So now, if I understand that the value is in me, it starts with me. I'm valuable. What do you change? You change the self-image. What did I say the three most important things were? Love, security, and certainty, and self-image. Love is your ability to give and receive. You're going to see that all of this has to do with giving and receiving. Love is your ability to give and receive. Do you have any issue giving or receiving love? Just you know this for yourself. You're answering the question for yourself. Do you have any ability giving or receiving money? Do you like to pay your bills, or do you get pissed off when you have to pay your bills, or whatever? Think about the energy when you have to pay bills or give money away. Bills are the representation of what gives us the surrounding of our life. Why would we not love that? Because we think that it causes us to face something that's in the control of somebody else. You see, really, if you're working a job or you have a limited mindset around money, you think somebody else or something is controlling how much you can make. And it's not true. So of course we would not like paying bills because we would think that the whole game is rigged, it's fixed. And then you have to be something that you don't want to be so somebody's not unhappy with you and fires you. So you don't even get to be your authentic self. It's literally attached to how you're living your life. Most people don't do what they love to do, and they don't do it with people that they like at all. You're supposed to do what you love to do and do it with people that you love. But if those lies are in place, that never happens because the whole thing is designed just for you to stay where you are because that's what you think you have to be in order to survive. So we have to change the image subconsciously. You have to see yourself wealthy. In other words, you have to believe that you're worth it. You have to believe that you're worth it, okay? Hey there, thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, but I have a question for you. Are you interested in joining other successful-minded people in a supportive online community full of positivity and growth? If so, check out my free transformation Facebook group. The link will be in the description below. We hope to see you there.